All right, welcome back. Now, I'm on a different shift, and I'll be doing a lot of uploads in the morning. And when I do, a lot of them will be brief because, this is a work day, Monday through Friday, and I need time to get ready to go to work. But I wanted to touch on this subject of Jay-Z. I saw a video recently uploaded by AC talking about this, and I had to talk about it. Well, I want to elaborate on it. As you see in the title, trying to get straight to the point. Have you ever in your life, as a black man, heard any Kiesha refer to any Brad as ugly? Black man, I want y'all to understand something. Only we can be ugly men in Kiesha's eye. You have never heard not one of them, not a day in your life, you have not heard not one of them ever refer to any Brad, any Enrique, any Jose. No non-black man is seen as ugly in Kiesha's eye. The only men who can be ugly is black men. What an ironic video or clip right here.
One word was so powerful. However, black and ugly as ever. However, anything he said after that was going to be amazing. Those are the
black and ugly as ever. It's sad. A lot of black men have joined in on this attack of our image. Because realistically, you don't find any women anywhere just referring to, men in general as ugly. That's an attack that's rare in general. Except when you're referring to black men. Okay? Now let's go over a few of these clips. This is what they're out here saying about us. This is how they're talking about us in front of the world.
AI does like the morphs of people over the years. I just saw one of Jay-Z. Oh my God, he was so ugly. And God forgive me. Come on, you know Jay-Z was never that guy in terms of the looks department. It definitely says a lot about swag and charisma and just having confidence and being tall in New York, because Corey is not cute. Oh God, Corey is not cute. He's not cute. Also an example of how black don't crack and we age like wine, because, he's still not like the best looking man.
Okay, that's enough. What I'm pointing out here is how comfortable they are.
Why would you want to be gluttony?
And we know it's not just Jay-Z. Calling us ugly. But you never heard not one Kiesha ever refer to not one Brad as ugly. They don't view these other men as ugly. Even the Brads that Becky considers ugly. If you do a simple internet search, just search, we're going to do it now. Just search ugly man. Most of your results are going to be white men. And I'm telling you, Kiesha does not view any of these men as ugly. They have never said it and never will say it. shout out and RIP to David Carroll. His words, his phrases live on. Brad's white skin protects him, gives him a pass of a multitude of flaws. They're looked over. Not only does Brad quite often is ugly, Brad will have bad skin to boot. But Kiesha will never call not one Brad nowhere ugly. They don't describe, they don't use words like that when they describe Brad. They just don't. This is a universal fact. No matter how old, no matter how ugly, even in the eyes of Becky, Kiesha will never describe Brad as ugly. That is a hostility reserved exclusively for us. That's a disrespect that applies to black men singularly and us only. And information like this is good because younger black males need to understand how you're looked at. You need to understand how they look at you. Now, if they were solid and if they held us down, nobody could be critical of them. Nobody. What could you possibly say? If they were true riders and had genuine respect for black men. We are able to point out all of these different ways of disrespect and disloyalty because they exist, period. You can FBA all day, all you want. We're not a perfect people, but black men are far more evolved collectively, which is natural. Men are the leaders. And if you're put in unnatural living conditions, the natural leaders are going to always look at your situation and where to go accurately. Brad cannot be ugly. Look at this. Me, when that woman said it's anti-black to say Jay-Z is ugly. Okay, and I'm not even going to play that. And it's funny how many of these chicks who are saying this are far from beautiful, far from attractive themselves.
Okay, so I've seen a few people on the Bird app ask, why are we using this old ass picture to show that he's not ugly? Maybe they're too young to remember, but I'm not. But people were calling him ugly back then. Okay, this is definitely a picture from when he was younger than when he started dating Beyonce, but not that much younger. So yeah, they were calling Jay-Z ugly when he looked like this, because early 30s.
Who is they? It was only you, Kiesha. You, Kiesha, have made it where only black men are ugly. Only black men can be ugly. This is actually a vicious and highly disrespectful collective attack. And notice how we black men have not made it a culture to get in front of the world and refer to any black woman as ugly. We don't normalize that type of talk. You go out here talking about how a young Whoopi Goldberg was ugly. You're going to have a slew of black men talking about how she's not ugly. and condemning the people who are critical and disrespectful. Again, why is it just okay for people, for black men to be referred to openly as ugly? Now, again, shout out to, shout out to all the guys who get these clips, because I work too much. And I use a lot of clips from AC, Only Logical, right? Salute for y'all's hard work. Listen to this one, if you haven't already.
When are we collectively going to agree that Blue Ivy looks like her daddy, but she's not ugly? He's ugly, but she looks just like him, but she's not ugly.
They would not dare talk about any Brad walking this earth like that. No matter how ugly, no matter how he looks, think about it. You don't see them talking like that. No matter how busted a Brad may be, they never bring themselves to call not one Brad ugly. They would feel like they're calling God ugly if they were to do that. Just look at the disrespect. How much it's a part of their culture. And it should be no surprise looking at how they openly demean and reject themselves. That's why I named that channel SBW. It's sad.
He looks like her dad. When are we collectively going to agree that Blue Ivy looks like her daddy, but she's not ugly? He's ugly, but she looks just like him, but she's not ugly. Because that's Beyonce's child. Do y'all see what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I know how this works. So I look just like my mom right now, but I looked just like my daddy when I was younger, but I wasn't necessarily ugly. I just looked like my daddy, and he's fucking ugly. So
she just called her father effing ugly, like it was nothing. Effing ugly, her biological father. Just look at how comfortable they've been disrespecting us like that. Have you ever heard a black man refer to his mother as ugly? Even if she were? Have you? Any of you? Call your mom ugly? You're not going to call nobody in your family ugly. Look how much more respect we have for them than they have for us. This is what a lot of black men are seeing. And this contributes to their statistics. The days of them being single and unmarried is the result of how dysfunctional black men are. Those days are long gone. Videos, streams like this is providing the proof as to why their statistics are the way that they are. Unattractive, unappealing, and even when a good number of black men find them attractive and appealing, they can't deal with the attitude and disrespect. It's the combination of everything that's causing black men to delineate.
he's ugly, but I wasn't ugly, but I looked like him, but I was
all right, enough out of her. Just called your dad ugly? And again, look at some of these. Look at them.
There's something that used to irritate me is when I say to people that, oh, I think Jay-Z is ugly, and then it's like, oh, but he's a billionaire, he's a multi-millionaire, he's one of... I'm like, I never said he was poor. I said he was ugly, and he is ugly. He can be rich and ugly. He is that. I don't know why you're bringing money into this, like, oh, he can buy 10,000 of you. Okay, good for him. Is he ugly? Yes. We weren't discussing wealth. We're discussing ugly. And he is.
She ain't even confident enough to put her full face in the video. but totally comfortable talking about how ugly a black man is.
Comment because I had just made a video about. I had to stitch this comment because I had just made a video about this, but I had to stitch it any fucking way just so people know I didn't fucking like Photoshop some dumb shit like this into like this is something somebody actually said. People, these are words that are coming out of actual people's fucking mouths, literally. I never thought I'd see the day where if you're not physically attracted to somebody, you either gotta be racist or have some.
Ugh. Name one Brad anywhere on this earth that any of you black men have heard any Kiesha referred to as ugly. You can't name one. Now, apparently, this went viral not long ago. She took her coworker on a date because he had not been on a date, had not been in a relationship for over 6 years. Comment section full of nothing but compliments from Kiesha. And if they didn't give a compliment, they pleaded the fifth. A number of them was saying, I have no comment on this. Right? Let me see. Yeah. See, sit this one out. This was an extremely important video that AC uploaded. Was this 13 hours ago? Extremely important. And you don't hear many black men touching on stuff like this. And this is what I was trying to do, what I've always tried to do, man. Talk about the stuff that's not being talked about. And what most black people are afraid to talk about is this anti-black male hatred that exists within the so-called black community. Here's another comment. I'm going to sit this one out. No, how about you call him ugly? Okay, and then Beyonce sat on this dude's lap who is far from a supermodel. I don't care how sloppy, how unattractive a Brad may look. I don't care if he's over 300 pounds with breasts, no neck. I don't care how unattractive a Brad may be. They will never refer to any, even a singular Brad as ugly. That's a powerful anti-black demon that you're dealing with right there. Well, that's what a lot of black men are sidestepping. That's a demon of self-hatred. Period. And it proves you got this reverence and respect for Brad and all other men that you simply don't have for black men. And many black men, they are willing to date interracial than to put up with a Kiesha like that. So it's interesting to look at the different things that contributes to unprecedented statistics. The most shameful of all, where a demographic of women is far more of single mothers than married. Do your own research. There's no other demographic, male or female, on this earth where the majority of them are single mothers. And I refuse to let them brush this off as if it's nothing serious. Same with all you talking heads out there. This is at the top of the list. Should be for all of you. Y'all want to mosey along, sing and dance as if they don't even exist? Nah. And want to demonize black men who step out at the same time? Not gonna happen. Salute everybody in the building. See you on the next live. Shout out to Kale in the super chat.